Welcome to Strip Coverlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Ford, and we are here for another poetry discussion, which will appear in two separate playlists here on the channel. Number one, obviously, being the poetry discussion playlist, but number two, being the Charles Bukowski playlist, a playlist comprised completely of Chucky Buck. The poem in question today is called Decline, and at the end of the poem, I'm going to introduce a term that will be a little bit of a stretch as far as its application with the poem, its application with literature in general, probably. But I think it is a discussion which could be fruitful, a discussion which does make sense if you indulge me for a moment. The poem Decline. Naked along the side of the house, 8 a.m., spreading sesame seed oil over my body. Jesus, have I come to this? I once battled in dark alleys for a laugh. Now I'm not laughing. I splash myself with oil and wonder, how many years do you want? How many days? My blood is soiled and a dark angel sits in my brain. Things are made of something and go to nothing. I understand the fall of cities, of nations. A small plane passes overhead. I look upward at it, as if it made sense to look upward. It's true. The sky has rotted. It won't be long for any of us. Now, here's the thing. I don't know the medicinal qualities of spreading sesame oil all over your body, but Bukowski was from California. Probably this is some hippy dippy process. It sounds crazy. It would look crazy, but probably this is not being done out of madness. It's being done out of faux intellectualism, pseudo intellectualism. So, probably the sesame oil comes with intellectualism attached to it. Nothing intelligent, but intellectualism. Meaning that he's got a reason he's doing it. It just doesn't make any sense. So, naked at the side of the house. This is barbaric, right? This is less than civilized. 8 a.m. Okay, so you've added a tinge of civilization there. If not for civilization, you don't know the time, let alone would you probably be up at 8 a.m. spreading sesame oil over my body. You've added that intellectualism and then the doubt which goes with it. The intellectualism points towards civilization, but is not civilization. The intellectualism says, somebody told me rubbing sesame oil all over my body, I'll live to be 103, because your body needs the nutrients in the oil. It saves you from the sun. Something, which is obviously probably 1000% nonsense. So we are reflecting on the individual's barbarism. Reflecting on the individual's barbarism. 8 a.m. commenting on civilization, spreading sesame seed all over my body, pointing towards civilization, and Jesus, have I come to this, introducing the doubt. The speaker here knows there's a little bit of crazy going on. I once battled in dark alleys for a laugh. Battled in dark alleys, that's a rough place. for a laugh. In that rough place, I was engaging in intelligent warfare. The mechanism of humor, which this is going to ruin humor for you, the mechanism of humor is to subvert expectation. If someone just goes along with whatever it is that you're expecting them to say, it's not funny. But if there is some subversion of that expectation, either from you didn't see that coming, right? So, knock, knock, who's there? A chicken crossing the road. You didn't see that coming. It's a non sequitur. Maybe it's funny to you, probably it's not, but it catches you off guard. The other mechanism of humor is of subversion of the expectation, not neglecting the expectation. So one expectation can be, you see, oh, it's funny because he said it and everyone was thinking it. That type of humor is funny, even though everyone was thinking it, because the expectation was that whatever this truth is was unspeakable. So now I'm not laughing. When I was less civilized, I would have these battles of the wits. Now I do not, because I am civilized. I'm up at 8 a.m. I spread sesame oil all over my body. I splash myself with the oil and wonder, how many years do you want? How many days? Again, pointing back to the fact that someone had told our speaker here, yeah, you rub yourself with sesame oil, you'll live to 100. Do I really want those years if I'm the guy that's naked on the side of the house at 8 a.m. rubbing sesame oil all over his body? My blood is soiled and dark, and a dark angel sits on my brain. I am not the healthiest, and I'm not even a good guy. That dark angel sitting on my brain. Things are made of something and go to nothing. Entropy, right? A thing has to be created. If that thing is not upkept, it gets destroyed just by the ravages of time. I understand the fall of cities, of nations. This is what we're going to talk about at the end, so I'm not really going to just remember this. Ooh, not that. Remember this phrase. I understand the fall of cities, of nations, and think about it in context with what it is that we're talking about here. A small plane passes overhead. That's civilization. That does not get to be the thing which points at civilization. If the airplane points at civilization, it crashes. I look upward as if it made sense to look upward. Why look up at the plane? Sort of the meta here is that it doesn't make sense to look up at the plane. The plane is real civilization. I am faux civilization. It's true. The sky has rotted. The emperor has no clothes. It won't be long for any of us. Now, this phrase here, I understand the fall of cities, of nations. What are we doing with that phrase in such a weird place in this poem? Well, I think that it points back to a scientific theory. The theory of recapitulation, also called the biogenic law or embryological parallelism, often expressed using Ernst Haeckel's phrase, ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny, is a historical hypothesis that the development of the embryo of an animal from fertilization through gestation or hatching, ontogeny, goes through stages resembling or presenting or representing successive adult stages in the evolution of the animal's remote ancestors, phylogeny. It was formulated in the 1820s by Etienne Serre, based on the work of Johann Friedrich Meckel, after whom it is also known as Meckel-Serre law. Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Ontogeny, our speaker, represents the successive stages in the evolution of phylogeny, the civilization. Our speaker here, in decline, goes through all of these things in the same way that does a city or a nation. A city or a nation starts with the barbarism, naked at the side of the house. That city or nation finds civilization at 8 a.m. Civilization, science, turns to pseudoscience, to faux science, rubbing oil all over your body. Some constituents of that society are going to look around and say, this is not tenable. What it is that we are doing is not tenable. They're going to look back at better times. You know, the crap that's happening right now, when I was a kid, back in the 50s, you'd got your butt kicked a couple times. Now, I'm not laughing. How serious are all of the weirdos in society today? I, however, splash my body with oil. I am taking part 100% wholeheartedly in that thing which points at civilization, but is not civilization. Meanwhile asking, how long do I really want to do this? I am not healthy. I am not good. Things, society, civilizations, are made of something. Rules, standards, expectation, and go to nothing. Civilization ends in squalor, not with a bang, but a whimper. So, the rest of this poem just kind of falls in line with that. But what do we have here from Bukowski? We have Bukowski utilizing a speaker that is just a product of the world in which he lives. We have Bukowski here observing the slow entropy of civilization and realizing that civilization is not falling because of civilization. If ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny, then so too, that doesn't just mean positively, right? Ontogeny, the individual, does not just recapitulate the phylogeny, the society, in the good ways. When everything is breaking down, the individual can be counted on to act like garbage as well. That is where we are with this poem. Bukowski is giving us a speaker who is just a member of the world in which he lives. Bukowski is giving us a speaker that is not above those things around him. Bukowski is giving us a speaker instead that is barely cognizant of the parts of the world around him which are the ones that are broken. The speaker understands, I'm doing some weird stuff with this sesame oil. Still does it. The speaker understands that airplane represents actual science, actual civilization, looks at it, doesn't wave like some weirdo, right? Just observes it. Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Does phylogeny recapitulate ontogeny if we're talking about civilizations? What is a civilization if not a collection of individuals? Weird, the conversations that you can find yourself having when you crack open some Bukowski. That's all I have for this poetry discussion. If you like or appreciate what I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out on the channel, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, there's literature on the channel not every day. So far, it's been every day for nearly a year now, but there's also poetry every Monday, and I hope to have you back for the next one.